Hi, today we're talking about angle sums of triangles and the exterior angles of triangles. Okay, so here we have a triangle. So basically, when you got your triangle, all of the angles have to add up to 180. So if we're going to talk about that mathematically, then the sum of the measures of the interior angles of a triangle, so those are the angles that are inside of the triangle, they all have to add up to 180. So if you know two angle measures from a triangle, can you deduce the last angle measure? So if I know this one's 50 and this one's 80, then I know my last one here has to be also 50 because they have to add up to 180. And I can also write this in the form of an equation. So if I'm going to call this x, y, and z, then I know that x plus y plus z has to equal 180. So if I know this is 50 and that's 80, I add these together. Okay, then I have to subtract 130 from both sides, and I end up with z equals 50. So obviously this is a pretty easy problem, but you could have a problem where there's a bunch of variables mixed in here that you have to solve for, in which case having an equation is much more useful. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. We also have these things called the exterior angles of a triangle. These are a little bit weirder because when you first look at a triangle, you don't really see them. You actually have to do something to the triangle to find the exterior angle. So basically, the measure of, well, first of all, this is what you do. You have your triangle and you look at one edge of it and you extend out that leg, then you see your exterior angle. The measure of an exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the sum of the measures of its two remote interior angles. Okay, so if I'm looking at angle one, I'm looking at the interior angles that are furthest away from it. So we're calling those the remote interior angles. In addition to its three interior angles, a triangle can have an exterior angle formed by one side of the triangle and the extension of the adjacent side. So every triangle has three exterior angles, okay, that are formed by continuing to extend that side. Okay, so we're going to say extension is what goes in this blank, okay, because I have extended that side to find that exterior angle. All right, let's continue. So each exterior angle of the triangle has two remote interior angles that are not adjacent to the exterior angle, right? So if I'm looking at angle 5 here, my two remote interior angles would be angle 1 and 2. And I know that if I add angle 1 and 2 together, I should get angle 5, right? And along the same way, if I look at angle 6, that's an exterior angle, then I know if I look at my two remote interior angles that go with it, I know if I add those together, I should get angle 6, right? Okay, so now let's keep looking. Here is an example problem. So if we know that angle 4 is 135, then can I find the measure of angle 2? We also know another measure here, right? We know what this angle right here is because it has that little box, which means it's a right angle. So I know that that has to be 90 degrees. So I know that my exterior angle 4 is 135. And I know if I add my two remote interior angles together, I should get it, right? So I know all of these things, and I can use them to solve for angle 2, right? To get angle 2 alone, I would have to subtract 90 from both sides, and I would get 45 degrees as my measure of angle 2. All right, make sure that you write down any questions and bring your notes to class on Thursday.